All right, you already know by the title that this is going to be a really controversial video. In defense of Gabi from Attack on Titan. Number one, I just want to say out there that when I read Attack on Titan, the manga, I was watching in real time people's reactions to Gabi, and I don't blame them per se, but I do think that it's a bit hyperbolic in nature. Gabi indeed was a hateable character, but she was an amazing character at the same time, and I'm gonna go into detail on why I think you guys should give Gabi another chance, and why I think you guys misjudged her. Alright, just gonna jump into it. Gabi, in my opinion, is one of the most interesting female characters in Attack on Titan. We can go down the whole list, and I think in terms of anime in general, Gabi is a truly intriguing character. Gabi and all the other female characters in Attack on Titan are a lot more intriguing than most people write with female characters, let's be real. What makes Gabi really intriguing to me is that when she was first introduced to us in the manga, I was like, she's another Eren. She's another Eren as we are first introduced to him in season 1. And that's what made the reactions to her from the fanbase incredibly confusing to me. Yes, I understand, given the impact, the quote-unquote, the impact, wink wink, that she has on the main team. Subjectively speaking, yes, I understand why people would hate Gabi. But from an objective perspective, it's not really that clear to me, because she's just like Eren. Unless you hated Eren just as much when he was first introduced, then I don't understand why you would hate Gabi to such an extent. When you think about Gabi, she has the same major, huge aspirations Eren did when we were first introduced to him. Eren wants to explore the outside world. He wants to become a scout. He wants to take down the Titans. He wants to destroy every single last one of them because of his own personal experiences, right? And we as an audience, because we have very limited understanding and knowledge about what's actually going on, we cheer on Eren. We cheer his development. We pump him up rather. And I don't ever see that flame, fithering away at all. In fact, people like to make an argument that, oh, actually the fanbase really hated Eren in the beginning. No, I don't think so, because in a lot of ways, Eren has all the attributes that people love to see in a shonen main character. He is headstrong, he's a leader, he's all about the action, and he's not just words. He really is about the action. Gabi is the very same way. She is not just words. Like, when I tell you this girl was campaigning for her presidency from the very beginning, and she was doing it well. The difference between Gabi and Eren is that Eren, and no shade to Eren, but he genuinely sent his teammates to death the very first season. He sent so many people that he was around to death, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Most of the time, it's unintentional, okay? But he nevertheless, he still sent them to their deaths because of his very emotional approach to warfare. When it comes to Gabi, she had the same fire for taking down everybody who was anti-Marley in order to prove herself, but she had the execution and the passion. She also knew how to put herself last. When we're first introduced to Gabi in the anime, we're first introduced to her at a war scene, and we're shown how all these Eldians are put at the front line of war. And for those of you who haven't watched season 4, like, this is spoilers, but she's put at the front lines along with all the other Eldians in the front lines of war. Yes, she's campaigning low-key for her to be the next Attack Titan, but at the same time, the way in which she executes her strategy not only wins her favor from other Eldians, but it even wins her favor from other Marleyans who typically don't even like Eldians. She puts herself at risk. When she went out into the middle of the field and acted like a girl who was helpless, so she put herself at risk. She could have easily died if the other side had just shot her, right? But she put herself at risk, and then she executed her own strategy, and it saved tons of Eldians. And that's what won her respect. Not only is she strong, intelligent, charismatic, but she loves her people. That's why people love Gabi. And I think that's a huge proponent on why I think she's a great character. Number 2, a lot of people hate Gabi because she is like what a lot of people consider to be brainwashed. And I think that is fair, but it's very intentional from the author, and I think it's genius for them to have introduced her in a way that is brainwashed, because again, you can liken her to first season Eren. Eren didn't know about what was actually happening in society, why these Titans were attacking Paradise, and who was behind the Titans, and he didn't know all of this. And in a way, he only knows things based on what is presented to him, based on life experience. And the same thing can be said of Gabi. She only knows what is presented to her, what she is experiencing frontline, and what is the information and the facts that are presented to her. One of her biggest downfalls is because of history. It's because of the way Marley wrote the history of the Eldians. Had Gabi actually been given the actual history, she may have turned different. But let's take the whole brainwashed approach, right? She's firstly loyal and she's brainwashed. And she's mainly driven by this passion that she has to protect her homeland. But when you look at her growth, think about how long it took for Eren to arrive at the point he is. It took him into adulthood, okay? He had that idea since he was a kid, and then he changed when he grew up like a teenager. It took him into adulthood for his whole perspective to change as he garnered more attention, and that more information, not attention. And that's fine. I'm not clowning him for that. But for Gabi, she had to experience a very dramatic growth herself, a dramatic change in her own perspectives that she herself has had since she was a kid as well, from her own environment. And she changes before adulthood. She changes her perspective before she even reaches an adult. And a lot of people, yeah, they may not like her at first because her own beliefs may clash with their own moral compass, and that's fair. But throughout the series, Gabi's journey is a testament to her growth as a character. As she encounters new perspectives and challenges her own preconceived notions, Gabi undergoes a gradual transformation that forces viewers to question their own biases. And that's what I want to really question in this video. I want to call attention to your own bias. Did you hate Eren as much when we were first introduced to him? Did you hate Eren as much? If not, why do you hate Gabi? If you can understand that she's brainwashed due to her upbringing, why do you still hate her? If you hate her for subjective reasons, in terms of her impact on the main characters, okay, but objectively speaking, what do you think about her? I want to know. Number 2, another reason why I think Gabi deserves flowers is because in reality, she serves as a mirror to real life conflicts. Gabi serves as a reflection of real-life conflicts and the cycle of violence that perpetuates them. In a way, she represents the consequences of indoctrination and the tragedies that arise from a never-ending cycle of vengeance. By delving into Gabi's character, Attack on Titan sheds light on the complexities of war and the impact it has on the younger generation, highlighting the importance of breaking free from inherited hatred and embracing empathy. And that's something that we definitely see Gabi do. I think it was really impressive that before the end of the story, Gabi starts to become more empathetic towards the Eldians through her own kind of like experience. And it takes a long time for people to undergo that change. And she already did it in like less than a year. Come on now. Number 3, I think that the reason why Gabi doesn't deserve to be as judged as she is by the fan base is because of her complex nature. Yes, she's presented as a flawed character, and she's not a perfect hero or an idolized figure, but she's a realistic portrayal of someone shaped by their circumstances. In a way, if you think about things from a Marley perspective, she is a hero from the eyes of the Eldian Marleyans. You know what I mean? But in terms of people from the Parasitian perspective, she is the anti-hero. She is a bane of their existence. Her fierce determination, her unwavering loyalty, and her deep-rooted beliefs are aspects that make her character actually compelling. By presenting her flaws alongside her virtues, Gabi becomes a 3-dimensional character that challenges our own assumptions and keeps us engaged. And then lastly, the reason why I think that Gabi doesn't deserve all the hate that she gets is because of just the impact that she has on the fan base. She has sparked heated discussions among fans, and that's what makes her really remarkable. Love her or hate her, Gabi's presence prompts viewers to reflect on the complexities of human nature, the impact of environment on one's beliefs, and the cyclical nature of violence. And it's allowed us to really kind of uncover a lot of what makes Attack on Titan as a story very compelling. But I just want us to really confront our own bias here. Think about it. Gabi, if you wrote a male shonen character, Gabi, ideals overlap with a lot of our favorite shonen main characters, but for some reason, it makes her incredibly hateable to the Attack on Titan audience. I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Like, what do you really think about Gabi subjectively, objectively? I think, again, it's understandable in a subjective manner for you to hate her, but objectively speaking, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts if you were to look at her from a bird's eye view? I thought she was incredibly admirable, and I think, again, that she's one of the most interesting female characters in Attack on Titan. Alright, I look forward to seeing your comments, and I'll catch up with you guys later.